from a galaxy far, far away.
And a bookshelf straight out of the 90s.
From Thrawn to Dantooine
And everything in between. This is Legends Look Back.
For those of you who are watching this or listening to it at a later date, it was Valentine's Day this week. That's right. We're coming to you from the week of February, 16th, 2023. Greetings to those of you who are in the future, by the way. And of course, here we are, 2 days after Valentine's Day, back doing our podcasting thing. It's a good thing that our show's on Thursday nights and not Tuesday nights, so I didn't have to, bail on my wife on Valentine's Day because of Legends Look Back. Am I right, guys? But, it really did spark some thinking for me. In fact, I saw the Del Rey Star Wars Books Twitter. The company is now called Penguin Random House Worlds, but they haven't changed the Twitter, so we also like to deal with the outdated and irrelevant over here on Legends Look Back. Anyway, so we'll keep calling them Del Rey forever because that's our brand. Mm-hmm. Anyway, they posted on Twitter this wonderfully thought-provoking question. Did you guys see this? It said, "Who is your favorite couple in the galaxy?"
Oh, man.
There's like a shot of Han and Leia all smoochy in the Falcon, and it got me to thinking, there's really not a lot of well-adjusted, happy couples in Legends, are they? Like, who would you pick? What's a good Legends couple that you would say is your favorite, favorite couple in the galaxy?
Oh man. There's the obvious, right? There's the obvious
Luke and Leia?
Luke and Mara Jade, right? So
that's right.
There's
right.
that, which is, I would say, the one of the illustrious. We've got
come back. Wait, push back for you here, Freddy. Before you move on, yes, a wonderful couple. Everybody loves Luke and Mara, but she did try to kill him
at the very beginning. She hated him.
That's like part of every relationship, right?
Tried to kill him.
Hey,
So-
there's a lot that say Luke and Mara. Jedi Casey Murphy says Luke and Mara, so you got a point for
Shout
you
out.
there.
Shout out to Jedi Murphy. What's up?
yeah,
What's up?
that's
Great
right.
one. Great one.
So-
all right, what you got, Rick? Wait, you had another one, Freddy. You had another one. Forget you, Rick. Freddy wasn't done.
There is another, right? There is Luke and his many failed romances.
That's true.
That's right.
We can't forget
That's
about
right.
those.
You got Lumaya and Shara Bree.
Almost
You got
Gariel.
Shara Gariel Captison. That's right. You got the computer lady,
The ship.
Callista Ming.
The ship.
Yeah,
yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. That's
That
all right.
one is
What you
probably
think,
the
Rick?
most
Who's your
illustrious.
favorite?
Your
Your favorite Legends couple? Yeah, they had a hot and passionate romance there for a while. Luke and his computer Jedi girlfriend.
Yeah. I think I'm about to read that. What is that in?
You don't want to read it, Rick. Let me just
You
Jedi
don't
mind
want
trick
to
you
read
here real quick.
Okay.
Steer clear,
Yeah.
buddy.
All right, so I would probably
Planet of Twilight and Children of the
okay,
Jedi.
both of them. Yes. Okay. I think the best, most well-adjusted. Okay, this is not true because I haven't actually read their full romance story. I've only seen the fledgling seeds of it. But Tycho and Winter, they seem like a pretty good couple that
Oh yeah.
has some amount of future together. So, but don't spoil it if they crash and burn and die and are sad
Well,
and stuff. So
We all know what happened to who was it? Yella's husband.
yeah, right.
Yeah, F's in the chat for Derek.
Yeah.
Derek. Yeah.
That was, wasn't there an age difference? Wasn't it kind of awkward already? So maybe she's better as a free spirit. I don't know.
Yeah, so the X-Wing books do have some good romance novels.
Yeah.
Not romance novels, romance moments.
Uh-huh.
Okay.
They're just jam-packed with the romance.
Oh yeah.
You've got, like you said, Iella and Wedge. They're cute together, very cute together.
Yep.
Shadows of Adamar. Hey, there we go. We got Wedge and Iella from Justin there in his chat. Diligent Sloths. That's a favorite couple for sure. You got Corrin and
and Mira.
the Salonian. That's a good one.
Corrin and the Salonian.
But I do think, Corrin and Mirax, yeah, sure, that's great and everything. But you know what's the number one couple in all of Legends? Corrin and his medallion. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, there it is. Man, no more.
I do think my real pick,
Yep, not
my
going
real pick might be Obi-Wan and Siri Tachi. They are my Star Wars OTP, my Legends OT. You guys got to read the Jedi Apprentice, Jedi Quest books. Those are fantastic. Freddy. I'm messing up your name so much tonight, guys. So sorry. Emily's not here to keep me straight. All right, Freddy, I'm surprised you haven't said, kind of like our own personal favorite couple, and that is Revan. No, excuse me, Malik and Bastila.
Yeah,
because he stole Revan's girl.
He did. That's Legends. Can you say Legends canon? Is that a thing?
It is now.
Yeah, sure.
That's right. G level for sure. For sure. Anyway,
Well, he's not here to say anything, so.
There's some drastically chaotic, disastrous relationships in Legends. Some nasty love triangles. I mean, Chewie, one of the main characters, never home with his family.
Yeah. I mean, it's a thing. It's a Wookiee thing, right?
Well, regardless of what your thing is, whether it's never being around for your family or, your husband being a sleeper agent for the Empire who then you have to kill in the name of the rebellion.
That's right.
Or if it's just that your medallion is so special to you like Corin Horns is, or if you're celebrating this Valentine's season with us at Legends Look Back, talking about Star Wars books, whatever the case may be, we're glad that you are here. We love you. And let's start the show! Hello, everybody, and welcome to Legends Look Back, proudly part of the Utini Podcast Network, a Star Wars books podcast where your video games only work after you blow in them, where we celebrate our rich EU history as well as dive into lesser-known Star Wars classics. I'm your host, Jared Mays, and I'm joined by my legendary co-hosts, Freddy C.
How's it? Get down there, Luke. Come on, get out of the way.
Hey, Luke, this is Freddy's shot. Come on.
I'm doing
I see
fantastic.
you've come prepared, Freddy.
Doing fantastic today. I'm so excited for this, by the way. We couldn't do this with Emily around. We had to wait till she couldn't make the show for us to sneak in a toys episode. So I'm excited.
In fact, she did say, and I quote, we were talking about doing the Luke and Mara Jade wedding comic, Union. We'd never read it. I've never read it. We were talking about it live on the show. I was like, hey, let's do that for a Valentine's episode. And she said, no, I want to be there for that. Please, would you please talk about toys without me? Please do toys when I'm not here. You know who else is excited to talk about his toys instead of just play with them like he always does on any other random Thursday night, and that is our producer, Rick Grace.
Yeah, so what I was saying is if you go after the Crate Dragon, then we'll be able to conquer Tatooine for the... Oh, sorry.
Rick, would you put your toys away?
Yeah,
It's time for the podcast.
I know. We'll do that later.
To be perfectly honest with you, behind the scenes here, I've got to show a behind the scenes shot. I am literally swimming in action figures right now. They are all over me. You got Boba Fett hanging out right here, rocket launching into the camera. I got Oppo Rensis' tail,
there you go.
and his beard and his weird second set of hands.
Yep.
Just hanging out here on the desk next to me. I got Dark Empire Luke. Oh, what have we here?
Hey.
I got my Lando figure from
look at how buff he is.
Got me one of those.
The
Yeah,
90s.
Nice.
The jackest Lando there ever was.
That's right. The six-pack. Yeah, I'm with you. I've got a collection of stuff surrounding me. I got like so much that I even put a second camera to show all the stuff.
That's fantastic, man. That's great.
So yeah, lots going on over here.
Good. This is something that's been a long time coming. This was idea we had at the beginning of the year. We were thinking about what are some like off-week topics in between roundtables that we can squeeze in, and this one made the list right there at the beginning of the year, and we didn't even make it through the second month. This one was high priority. We had to get to this. We are, of course, tonight talking about the rich history of collecting Star Wars toys. Legends Edition. Whoa. Did you picture like the Boba Fett ship ring?
I did.
The sonic wave when
I did.
that? Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's a sound effect that just reverberates through the rest of your life.
I'm gonna work on that in my beatboxing repertoire. Boots and cats and wow.
I love it, man. I love it. That's fantastic. Well, we're going to talk about our favorite toys, our ultimate like bucket list items, the toys that we would most like to collect. We'll talk about some other sorts of collectible tidbits along the way, the best expanded universe toys there ever were, perhaps even some you didn't know about. And, of course, something very, very fun that Rick had the great idea to do. We have community submissions, and boy, did the community come alive this week. We have got a ton of stuff to show off that the community is happy to participate in. This particular week's topic, if you're with us live, welcome. If you're not, hey, pop on over to the Utini Discord in the collections channel, #collections, and show us your figures. Not your figure. That's for the #always on the move channel. Okay. That's right. All right, who's going to start us off? Freddy, you're a bit of a historian, wouldn't you say, good sir? Tell us about, like how did this all get started? Why is it that we so strongly associate Star Wars and action figures?
Well, that's a good question, and that's actually part of the history of Star Wars itself. Back in, what was it, about 1970, about 1978, I want to say, is when the first toys came out, but it was nothing, right? It was an empty box. But before that,
right, they sold the empty box and said, if you buy the box, we'll send you figures eventually.
Yeah.
And they did, and it was a hit. Of course, a lot of people didn't like that at the time. I mean, this is way before I was born. But for those of you who were there at the time, how was it? What was it like to get that box? I'm sure it was just like the peak of exclusivity, right? Of that.
Well,
like, oh man, I can't wait.
but think about that. If you get that on Christmas morning, an empty box, like, yay! I have a toy that I get to play with sometime next year.
What if you know what's in it though?
I
And
mean, sure, you can be hyped about it, but
at that time, right, it was different. So when George Lucas was about to release the film, he wanted a huge deluge of content, right? Not just the movies themselves, but he wanted toys, merchandise, basically merchandise, to go hand in hand with this film, which, Jared, I don't think had really been done that frequently around this time, right?
Now it's commonplace because Star Wars really paved the way, kind of blazed this trail. It was part of his deal, right? Like, he couldn't get enough cash up front in his initial offer with the studio, with Fox, so he negotiated for merchandising rights, and they were like, sure, we don't care. We don't merchandise our movies.
You're not going to do well.
And then, all right, what's the fact on this? It's like a staggering statistic, isn't it? I'm trying to remember how much money did that initial wave of figures... Oh, here it is. The Kenner Star Wars toy line was such a smash success, it made over $100 million in its first year alone.
Wow.
That's like, in today's figures, like what, $3 million? What's inflation, like 8 times as much as it was in 1978? So $8 million? That's fantastic.
yeah.
Yeah.
No, I said $100 million. So $800 million in today's standards?
Yeah,
I'm really great at math, as you can tell.
A lot.
Very, very good at the maths, as the British say.
Right.
That's right. We're talking about the toys, Emily. While you're not here, shout out to Emily, who's popping off in the chat. We miss you.
That's right.
And also, hello.
Yeah.
All right, so that's the first wave of figures. Kenner produces these miniature, like the 3 3/4 inch line. Whereas at the time, what was popular were the Mego dolls, which were much bigger. And Mego passed on Star Wars. Suck it, Mego. Actually, I love Mego toys. I really do, man. They're fantastic. They're so retro.
Yeah.
We love you. Mego. Sponsored by Mego. Not. Okay. Where are we at, Freddy, in the history of it all?
Well,
take us outside of 1978.
Just to give you a hint, around $800 million in 1978 is around $3.6 billion now. So it's a healthy amount.
Wow.
Yeah. So what happened was this 3 3/4 inch figure was a bit unusual, and we've got this early bird certificate. That's what they called it, early bird certificate. And this early bird certificate was, it was hammered by a lot of different news outlets. This is a terrible thing. You're giving kids empty stuff. It's an empty box. What do we do with it? Just kind of not really entrusting their faith in Star Wars, I guess, thinking that was just going to be a complete flop. Well, there were a few figures. The four original figures. Do you know what they are, Rick?
Let's see.
I'll give you a hint.
Ooh.
There's one of them.
Yeah.
Here's one.
Luke, Leia, Han, and Chewie.
Luke, R2D2,
Ah.
Leia, and Chewbacca.
Okay, that's close.
I believe
Wait,
those.
not a Darth Vader?
Was there a Darth Vader? I don't believe there was a Darth Vader. I want to say the first.
Darth Vader was B team.
And that
Wow.
Well, Darth Vader would come later. The retro lineup, by the way, if you've seen that 3 3/4 retro lineup, I believe the first run was the first run of the Kenner toys. But
Right.
I don't recall it. I don't have the figures in front of me, unfortunately. If you do out there, though, let us know on Twitter or something. But anyway,
Yeah, for sure.
yeah, Jared, what do you want to know next? Because there's quite a bit that happened with the release of those 4 toys.
So
'Cause
something really fun happened with the Empire Strikes Back coming out. So like they took that first model, which was, hey, we don't have the toys ready in time
did
for
another
Christmas,
mail
so
away.
we're gonna sell the box. And instead of doing like this crisis thing, they just took this odd marketing strategy and they just went ahead and like were forward with it with the Empire Strikes Back. They did a mail away figure, right, Freddy?
Yeah, the mail away figure. Who I wonder who that could have been. Right, there was a mail away figure.
Oh, I know this
Maybe
one.
has a little jetpack of some sort. What do you think, Rick? Who do you
Yeah.
think it is?
It's the Boba Fett, and
Boba Fett.
he definitely had a torpedo that shot. And no, he didn't actually. It was glued shut, and that's actually apparently a controversy because didn't Kenner didn't they say that we promised none of them were shipped that actually shot the missile out of his jetpack.
That's what
But
they said.
there are some in circulation that have a jetpack that shoots for a missile.
And there
Many-
are fakes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
Ah.
many without the jetpack or without the rocket launching missile.
yeah.
Right,
The
'cause they all
rocket
got
firing
lost.
Boba Fett. Yeah, but hey, before the episode's over, we're gonna go through and we're gonna play a game where we guess the most valuable Star Wars action figures
Okay,
ever made.
okay.
So,
Okay.
I'll give you a hint. Rocket firing Boba Fett may or may not be on the list.
Yeah.
We'll say that much.
Okay.
Okay. So there was the mail away Boba Fett.
Yep, and as you heard that there was a safety feature. They glued the rocket. I don't think that was the case, or probably that adhesive just didn't make it past like 6 months. One of the two.
Some quality control might have slipped.
But of course, that Boba Fett, that rocket launching Boba Fett, is probably one of the what would you call? Probably one of like the first exclusive toys that people wanted. That mail away Boba Fett. Yeah, Jared, you want to kick off a few more fun facts there?
So yeah, with the history of it all, like the old school days of collecting, and mind you, this is not really my strong suit. To be honest, like this is definitely more for you guys. However, I do have a good assortment of figures I've collected over the years because I'm that type of person, apparently. We're getting through the original trilogy. I want to get to the 90s. Let's be honest. I want to get to the 90s. But before we get there, by the time of the release of Return of the Jedi, according to my calculations, never tell me the odds, the line had expanded to 79 figures. So the original trilogy, the 3 3/4 inch action figures, there were 79 of them.
And
shout out to Yak
don't
Face.
forget, there was a lot of play sets. That was the big thing. Play sets. The Ewok Village.
For the high rollers out there, I could never afford that stuff.
Yeah.
You got any play sets, Freddy? I bet you got play sets.
I've got the
Ewok.
Ewok, the Ewok Village in its original box still.
Oh,
Man, it's so cool. It's so cool. I need to buy one and put it on display and then put just Palpatines all over it.
And slime.
That would be great.
That'd be
Fun
great.
fact, I have 2 identical Palpatine toys. Why? I don't know. But I'm going to go ahead and guess one of them is a clone.
Nice.
All right.
That's fair. That's fair. I'm gonna maybe show off my shelf later, and I've got 2 3/4 inch Hans that are like spooning. So you're going to see if you can catch it as the video goes by.
I love it.
Han and Ha-On. All right. That's fantastic. All right, so let's get to the 90s.
Okay.
By the time the original trilogy's over, Kenner tries to milk it a little bit with some droids and Ewok figures, but
Yeah.
too little, too
didn't work.
late. After 250 million Star Wars figures had been shipped over the world, Kenner's epic run had come to an end.
And that was a big deal.
Take us to the
right?
90s. What's up next?
Yeah, so this was an interesting time, right? This is like the dark stages, right? Not just in the toys, not just in the books either. This was just all around dark ages for Star Wars. Around this time, George Lucas was doing commercials for like, I don't know, like Sony or something like that. Weird stuff. He was it almost looked like he was out of ideas. So much so that even Kenner, they tried to create their own storyline, calling it The Epic Continues, and it just Lucasfilm straight up rejected it. Why? Well, what happened in the 90s? I think a lot of things happened in the 90s. A couple of movies were announced.
Dark Empire happened. Come on.
Dark Empire. We had a lot of the 90s books that were coming out, and with those books came the toys. The same marketing concept that we had with the movies, right? Come out with a Legends book, or at the time just a book, an EU book, and then come out with something sort of like this later on.
Oh, what you got? Who's that? Snuva?
That is Chewbacca
Chewie
as
his
Snuva.
Is he bounty hunter costume? I don't have that one. That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Some crisp packaging. Yeah, so the Power of the Force series is like, hey, we are back. Star Wars toys are back, and they're buffer than ever, right?
Aren't they?
This is to me where I'm most interested in the toys collecting. I'm kind of tempted to go a little bit deeper in the Power of the Force stuff. I've got some scattered Power of the Force figures around the room. Most of the action figures that I've got from when I was a kid are Power of the Force line.
yeah.
I unfortunately don't have a Monkey Leia. The Power of the Force line is notorious for some questionable body molds and facial sculpts, right? So
They
the
gave him a
Princess
name,
Leia
too.
figure what do you mean?
So the name of those sculpts were called the Hero Age, right? So the Hero Age were these incredibly overly buff characters, all the way down to Leia having, I would say, muscles on muscles.
Oh, yeah. All right, so I've got some Power of the Force figures here, a couple in the package. These were gifts from my little brother, Justin, who's been in a couple of Legends Look Like bonus videos. I've got a Power of the Force Obi-Wan. I've got a Power of the Force Yoda.
Oh, yeah.
Who's got this big backpack that it looks like he's standing on. It's kind of an odd way to package him, but it's, to be honest, less creepy than the catcher's mitt face Yoda from the Phantom Menace, which I also have and is beloved. And now here's one of my Holy Grail figures from the Expanded Universe line, put out in 1998. This is Dark Empire Luke.
Oh, nice.
Which, so there are, according to the back of the package, and I would love to collect all of these, and I don't have them all yet. I've got this one, and I've got Thrawn, which I bought when I was hanging out with you in California, Freddy.
Oh, yeah.
Listen to these. Can you believe that these are in existence somewhere? Some of you out there listening may even have some. All right, you got Dark Empire Luke. There is a Kyle Katarn action figure. Oh, man, I've got to get that sucker. Now that my 4-year-old has heard me like talk about Kyle Katarn and play the video game sometimes I'll catch her in her room playing with like a couple of Power Rangers toys or whatever, like a couple of My Little Ponies, and she'll say, "I'm Kyle Katarn." No, I'm Kyle Katarn. Anyway, it's
That's so awesome.
it's become like a household name for us. So, welcome to my household. All right, there's a Dark Empire Leia. There's Thrawn, as I said. There's a Mara Jade from this line in the 90s, and Mara Jade toy. You got a Dark Empire Emperor with the huge vampire collar. He's not naked. I don't know what's going on under the robes. You got a super buff space trooper, which is cool. And then there's an Imperial Sentinel, which is like a royal guard in the red garb holding a battle axe, looking like a samurai. So
Yeah. That's so
it's cool that they actually did make some Expanded Universe figures.
Yeah, I've got some on the back of mine as well. I'm not sure if you can see that, Rick.
There we go.
Yeah, there you go. We've got Prince Shizor against Darth Vader. Let me see. I can't read that backwards.
Oh, yeah.
But I think that's a Luke in Imperial disguise.
Cool.
Up there.
Cool.
And then Dash Rendar. You see Dash Rendar?
Yeah.
Yep,
next to
I've got a
him.
dash and a Shizor.
Then you've got the swoop. A swoop with a swoop trooper. So a lot of cool EU toys. And that doesn't stop there. We've got the Micro Machines as well from the
Sure.
books.
Let's talk about that.
Yeah, those are awesome.
All right,
Yeah.
Rick, you have Micro Machines fan? You got some?
I can go grab
Yeah.
some over there.
I got some Micro Machines. Let me switch over this was like we talked about this before, but like I didn't know that there were books as a kid for Star Wars. I missed out. But I had lots of Star Wars toys, and a lot of them I still have like with me. And so these live
So
on
that
my
was your expanded universe, was the stories you were making up.
exactly. And so these are my toys as a kid. They're really dusty, if you can't tell. Sorry about that. But these are little Micro Machine little play sets. So the Stormtrooper head rips open, and
What? All right,
it's
scoot it forward. There you go.
it's the whole trash compactor scene, and the walls actually compact. And there's a
Oh.
No,
little-
wait, I've never seen this.
Is that
there's
like
a
a
little-
Polly Pocket?
Maybe it's a Polly Pocket, but I thought they were branded Micro Machine. Let me see if I can find an identity on them.
That's cool, man. I've never seen that before.
And it's got a little Dianoga in there. I'm sorry, I keep getting this off the camera. Little Dianoga guy who comes up. And so look, there's Darth Vader's tie in the hanger that comes, or is this a bomber?
Is it a bow tie or a necktie?
It is definitely a tie advanced. How dare you? No, check that out.
Oh,
Pretty
cool. Nice.
Just pops
That's great.
out. And so, and then this one is Darth Vader's face that pops into the Imperial throne room, kind of. No, it's Bespin. And so we have Han Solo and Carbonite that comes up.
Oh, cool.
And,
Wow.
then this one was my favorite. Guess what R2-D2 turns into? Any guesses?
What was the question?
What does R2-D2, what scene does he have?
What scene? Obi-Wan Kenobi's hut.
Obi-Wan Kenobi's hut? Okay. Good guess. Freddy is gone, so I won't ask him. It is Jabba the Hutt's palace,
Oh, okay.
complete with the
I
trap
was on the
door,
right planet. Yeah, I was
a
on the right
trap door,
planet. Hey,
and
cool.
oh no, a Rancor pit and a sail barge. But the Rancor
Wait,
is
where's-
missing.
Oh.
But then the trap door opens and the Rancor can come
Oh,
out.
man.
So I had a lot
Careful
of.
shutting that thing. You might make Malakili cry.
I know. So lots of fun with these guys.
Wow. Those are cool, man. I've never seen those. I don't think I've got any Star Wars Polly Pockets or Micro Machines. I've got a couple Pokemon like Polly Pocket sort of things that
Yeah.
my kids like to play with. But I know Freddy's got some Micro Machines, and he's back, baby.
There he
Perfect
is.
timing. There's his Trucet Bakura Micro Machines, but they look like the books. They're actually like the exact size of the paperback books.
Yeah.
These are
Yeah.
some of the coolest expanded universe merchandise ever made, for my money.
Yeah.
Check
In my
that out.
opinion. I always mess up expressions.
That is crazy.
Those are cool. They've got one for a couple of Thrawn trilogy books, a couple Jedi Academy trilogy books, Truce Bakura.
Oh, look at that Sun Crusher.
Yeah. Now, there's a guy on Twitter.
Jedi Search. Yeah.
Freddie, I'll have to send you the link. There's a guy on Twitter named Admiral Nick who's been collecting these over the last few months.
I've seen him. I've
He's
seen
been-
him on Twitter.
He's been going through and collecting all of the. He bought the boxes, but he's also been collecting all of the Micro Machines ships. And he just the other day, shout out to Nick. He has
Ooh.
completed his collection of the Star Wars Micro Machines ships, and
It's hard to
they're
say.
really cool.
Hard to say.
Yeah, yeah. I was wondering if you caught that or not. All right, what else you got over there, Freddie?
Just some Kmart stuff, which I'm not sure when Kmart went out of business, but
Oh
got-
man.
Wonka
few years
and Whittle Warwick.
Whittle
That's-
Warwick?
That's literally what it says. Whittle Warwick.
That's great. I love
Yeah,
that.
Love it.
And the Kmart like
that's-
sticker, like that is time
Yeah.
capsule right there, man.
There you go. You see that?
Oh, it's so
That is
good.
cool. I bought some Star Wars toys at Kmart personally. I bought a non-canonical Rey and Kylo dueling, like Black Series playset, dueling in the snow, and I call it non-canonical because
Ooh.
that's a great mall. It's at the Black Series mall there. We'll talk about Black Series and modern figures here in a moment. The one that I bought, it's not Legends, but it's non-canonical. Because shout out to Thrawny for the great comment there. I feel like I'm walking through Toys R Us in 1916. I think he means 1996
Yeah.
or 1991 through 6.
Somewhere
Either
in the
way.
future, they brought Toys R Us back.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby. Nerds unite. Okay, Yeah, I bought a non-canonical Kylo who is wearing his helmet for the snow duel because in the movie he's not.
Hold on.
So it's in that sweet spot.
I'm gonna call
Interesting.
BS on that because I don't think Kmart was around at that point.
It was. Ours was going out of
2015?
business.
Okay. You must have had
I
the
bought-
last Kmart in like the country or something.
It's out to Fitchburg, Massachusetts. I bought. Pretty sure it's still a vacant building. I bought every last Star Wars action figure they had on markdown. I went every
Nice.
day
Oh,
to look
yeah.
to see if they were marked down more. I would like gamble to see like tomorrow they might go down another 5%.
Okay, so capitalizing on store closings is definitely a big advantage for Star Wars collections. That's how I got started in Star Wars Armada when Hastings was closing. As I did the same thing, I would go and wait for the prices to keep getting slashed and hacked, and be like, "I'll buy this now." So yeah, good
There you
move.
go.
Good move.
There you go. All right, so back on the script here. We've talked
Yeah.
about the retro toys. We've talked about the power of the Force getting into the 90s. We talked about the gigantic play sets. We have dabbled a little bit in some modern stuff. We're going to come back to that in a minute. But before we do, we're getting into the prequel era in terms of the story of the Star Wars toys, right? And something controversial happened. And that is the toys began to be ultra articulated. You guys know what I'm talking about?
Oh yeah,
The
multiple
the joints
joints.
and the wrists and the feet.
Yep.
Yeah.
What's your preference here? You guys 5 points of articulation fans, or you like the 12 points?
How many
24
points do the black series have? Do you know?
That's a good question. I'm not sure how many points they have either. I will say, let's
Oh.
see.
Well, they originally started with like what 0 points of articulation, or no?
Yeah, like
It was just the arms, I think, that
Arms?
moved, and the head maybe,
Sounds right.
and maybe
Sounds
the
right.
legs. I don't know. I'm not sure if the
I-
legs did, but then they swiveled the hips. That was different.
the hip swivel. Let me just point out. Okay, we talked about these before on the show, but these are the hyper real figures that I have, and
Oh,
they're
wow.
like probably 8 to 10 inch tall, and they have entirely too much
Right.
swivel, and like every single joint is hyper
Yes.
realistic, and it's creepy. There's actually like fleshy rubber on Luke's face and Vader's legs, and like it's weird.
Man,
Interesting.
imagine
So-
the fleshy rubber if you had a Dark Empire Palpatine.
That's what I'm saying. Like moist, man. It's too much.
Yeah.
Interesting.
So I kind of waffle between two opinions on this. I've got a bunch of the hyper articulated. I've got a whole bunch of clone troopers you can stick them in some super dope poses, and I like that. They look great.
Mhm.
Very realistic compared
play
to the
with.
kind of ultra rigid. The issue is they're hard to pose and leave
Yeah.
on a shelf because the joints, like, they want to bend and they want to wiggle like those
Mm-hmm.
big tube men that are outside car washes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a little bit too much of that. So let us know in the chat if you are a 5 points or a 24 points fan with your action figures.
Yeah.
And so that gets us through the prequel era, and then of course, okay, we got Thrani's comment here. What's it say, Rick?
I prefer an action figure that can stand up by itself. That's a good word. I've tried to find the perfect way to get my figures to stand. My favorite right now is little wooden dowels that I drill
yeah.
and put in their feet and then attach to the floor and drill through the floor or whatever. So,
Wow, that's some hardcore collecting, Rick.
Skuma Joe says 24 points for me personally. So he wants all of that movement action.
Fingers,
Well, I'm going to say
toes,
100
everything.
points.
Yeah.
100 points to you, Scuba Joe. You're our favorite. You're wonderful. Well done. So, getting into the Clone Wars era, the prequel era, they were hyper articulated, and there were, I would say, almost an excess of toys during that era. Especially
Yeah.
the Phantom Menace, they were so unbelievably over merchandised. Just go there's a great YouTube video from the Guinness Book of World Records. It's a tour of Rancho Obi-Wan with Steve Sansweet. We'll throw it in the chat. He's got his Rancho Obi-Wan hat on this week.
Yeah.
Fantastic. Card carrying member, right?
Card
Freddy?
carrying.
That's awesome.
That's
And that's right. So there's a great tour video of him like showing the excess of merchandise from
Yeah.
the Phantom Menace. It's
Yeah.
unreal. I've got a ton of merchandise from Revenge of the Sith because I was like 15 when that came out, which is a great age to like have some lawn mowing money to blow on toys. And my brother was also into Star Wars at the time, so he was getting a bunch because he was a kid. Our parents would buy him for him, and he's the baby, so they were always buying him stuff. So I've got a bunch of figures from that era, and then before the great Disney merger, we had the Disney acquisition. There are some ultra elusive, incredibly dope. It's a great mall there, Freddy, from episode 1. Exactly what we're talking about. There are some figures at the very tail end of Hasbro having the license under Lucas before the Disney acquisition that have become extremely rare, particularly the expanded universe figures. Have you guys seen these? There's like a 5 action figure pack with legacy era figures. There's like a Darth Nihilus and a Darth Scion and a Darth Crate. I mean, those are holy grail items for me. And I didn't know back then that like those would eventually become really rare, and I really wish I bought them, and I didn't.
Oh yeah.
So if you're out there and you have them, I can't afford them. But if you want to give them to me, I probably can't accept them. But I'd like to see a picture. I'd like to see a picture for sure. So
There you go.
we're going to show off some fan pictures here in a minute, guys. All right, as we merge into the Disney era of the toys, what else needs to be said? Now
Well, right
there's an
after-
abundance. There's a wealth of figures.
Yeah, and then you've got, of course, Attack of the clones and the prequels. A lot of, just like Jared said, excess characters. But not just that. Eventually, after Revenge of the Sith, we got some pretty awesome, interesting characters, right, Jared? Different, not just characters, but sizes of the toys.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, this is very controversial. You're talking about when the Black Series was announced, trying to generate some more interest in the toy line after Revenge of the Sith. I mean, this is at a point where, is it 2013? Is that when the Black Series was announced? So very shortly before the Disney acquisition.
Yeah,
It's
2013.
right after. So Disney purchased Star Wars in 2012. So right at that, the Great Divide.
Yeah, the Great Divide.
The shot heard around the world.
Mm.
Now they're going to start producing figures in 6 inches. All right, guys, what's the great debate? Which side of the aisle do you fall on? Are
It's
you
tough,
a 3
man.
3/4 inch fan or a 6 inch fan?
So here's the thing. When the 6-inch figures came out, I'm pretty sure I got them in 2012 at Celebration. Whenever Celebration 5 was, or 4, I forget. Went to the Hasbro booth, got every single one of the first editions that came out. Loved them. They were huge. They were different. They were more, they were kind of like in between 3 3/4 and your statuette, right? Like your, what would you call those? The, kotobukiya, maybe, statuettes. And they sat at 6 inches, which were almost about double the size of the original ones. But that was at an expense, because now they started just focusing on those 6-inch figures, and the 3 3/4 figures just kind of went to the wayside, right? And didn't quite make the cut in a lot of meetings, I bet.
And those have made a comeback, which I'm happy to see that there's a good balance, good mix of the two between 3 3/4 inch line and the 6 inch line. I, at this point, am not trying to collect one or the other as much as my emphasis is solely on expanded universe figures as a personal collector. So I've got 6-inch Thrawn, the 50th anniversary Lucasfilm Thrawn. In fact, this one, man, the packaging on these 50th anniversary, it's just gorgeous. These look just so crisp and clean. I've got a Thrawn and I've got a Revan, and these look really good in the packaging. The 6 inches. But by and large, most of my figures that I have are 3 3/4 inch. What's your opinion on this one, Rick?
Man, I go back and forth. I like both. I think I probably prefer the 6 inches just because there's maybe more articulation or more definition to like the sculpting or the what's it called, the modeling or whatever. And like some of the Black Series, they do look really nice on a shelf. Like the they're easier to
take
kind
up
of
more
stack
space.
and display. Yeah, they do take up more space. But like I'll show you my shelf later, and like my Power of the Force or Shadow of the Empire, they're just hard to arrange. Whereas the Black Series, you can put them on the side, you can put them front facing. So they definitely had collectors in mind, and so I appreciate that.
And I think that was the point,
Cool.
right? The 6-inch figures were for the growing populace of Star Wars. The 3 3/4 perfect for a child's hand, but maybe not, for an adult, just a bit tiny. So using the 6-inch to sell for the adults, definitely that's what it was for, right? That's the whole point of that Black Series.
Yeah, I can see that. And I'm glad that they've kind of come back around to a good mix of the two, personally. So that gets us caught up to the modern era, and there's new stuff being announced all the time. We'll have a new wave for every new movie that comes out. And sometimes there's an excess. Like I think about Force Friday with The Force Awakens.
Oh, man.
I mean, I was hitting the stores early, like 5 a.m. I had my kid in the cart, and we went around to Toys R Us and Target and Walmart. We hit all the stores in the area, and we we're looking for certain figures. When The Last Jedi came out, we were looking for the Luke. I wanted the old man Luke. We got him the last one in the Toys R Us. Must have been the last year Toys R Us existed. And so lots of fun stuff now, and we'll get new re-releases every now and then of a Legends figure, but they're few and far between.
We're getting different stuff nowadays. We're getting stuff like the HasLab, not even a toy at that point. It's a collector's piece, and it's
Sure.
they come with 3 3/4 figures, but they're also I think they're selling around too much. I'm just gonna say that.
Yeah, too much for me. And I'm a pretty hardcore collector, personally. Let's just talk about what stuff we do have, and then what stuff we would like to acquire. So, Rick, lead us off. Show us some of the highlights of your collection.
All right, so got a quick shelf tour. So let's watch this. I think we will be able to talk as we look at it, but this is just a quick overview of my shelf. Here we go. So some Black Series figs, some some of the new models.
How do you dust that?
I
You've
don't.
got this staged really well.
I don't. I've got LED strips.
Whataburger saw it.
All that. Even like some of like the what's it called? The Disney Universe game that you play with all those little characters.
Yeah, those are good figures.
See,
I love the packaging on those Black Series boxes.
Yeah. Then there's the Hyper Real, those creepy guys there. Don't look into his eyes.
Love your Vaporator from a second ago. That was
Oh
cool.
yeah, I love that thing too. That came with one of the '90s toys. I forget which one.
Some
Then,
Power of the Force figures. That's right.
There in the back is my 3PO and R2
Nice.
piggy bank, and it used to talk and stuff. There's Spooning Han, if you see them.
Oh, sure enough. I feel like you're flying a drone over your collection right now.
This
Blue
is pre-recorded. Yep. There's Tycho and Wedge, or is that Biggs? No, it's Wedge. Then a model.
Your homemade helmet.
Yeah, homemade helmet. That's a Micro Machine, I think. That Millennium Falcon.
Yes.
Queen Amidala doll. That's kind of creepy.
Oh, yep. Seen those.
But
I've got a bunch of those.
there's Luke's hand and Thrawn's hand.
Oh, nice.
So
I
so
love
good.
that, man.
and he's got Thrawn Tarkin at gunpoint. So that's cool.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's a great
Thrawn woke up
collection.
and chose violence today.
Ooh, there you go.
And then those two boxes I have to unbox for the first time live on the show if we want to. So
Oh my gosh, let's have it, man.
You wanna do it?
By the way, that what is it? Darth Maul. I remember that specific toy being incredibly hard to find.
Really nice.
So please
Okay.
open it up. Hurry up.
All right.
Could
Let's
totally tank its value. To any collectors out there who are triggered by out of the box people,
look
Um,
away. Look away.
spoiler warning, this is going to ruin everything.
Yeah.
Jared, do you
So,
keep all of your things in a box or loose?
I've got a tub full of my loose figures that my kids and I play with. And most of the time, what ends up happening is Jar Jar gets frozen in carbonite. I mean, it's like 90% of the time,
Yeah.
Jar Jar gets frozen in carbonite.
90%.
I've got this carbonite Han and carbonite figure from the Power of the Force line, which is one of my favorites. It looks great on the shelf. I'm gonna give Rick a minute here to fix his setup as he just knocked it all over.
I'm broken.
You broke it?
No, we're good. Give me a second.
Okay. All right. So I've got this Han and carbonite, and there's a clip on the back
yeah.
where you can stick Han in there, right? A little seatbelt. It does not look like Harrison Ford at all.
Jared, if I'm not mistaken, you could put that in the back of the ship too, the Slave One actual, vehicle.
That's cool.
Yeah.
I didn't know that because I don't have it. But what's funny is any 3 3/4 inch line, any 3 3/4 inch figure will fit in this Han and carbonite. And so, like my kids, they're always sticking random fools inside this particular
Jar
carbonite
Jar.
slab. Yeah, Jar Jar, poor Jar Jar, he gets frozen. Just like you'll have Padme and Leia hanging out in Luke's land speeder going to Sonic, and then they come back with Jar Jar frozen in carbonite.
Nice.
Yeah.
Hey, can
All
I
right,
get a
so,
mango
think I'm
cream
ready.
slushy?
Yeah, so I keep a bunch loose. I probably got 40 or 50 loose, and then I've got maybe 10 in box.
Very cool.
Sweet. I've
Here
got
we
a
got
collection
Rick.
as well of in-box, not a box. Want to
Is
check out
that
my
your,
knives?
Let
Tonight we
me
have
see
a-
that thing pop out. Let me see it.
Boker automatic. It's got a safety. My knife has a safety, and then it's automatic, so booyah.
Boom.
That looks like a
cool.
touchdown to me.
Yeah, that's right. Okay, so D2 steel, aluminum. Okay, sorry. Let's see. The blade is going in. Oh, apparently I bought this for $10, so that
Oh,
would be a
wow.
Not
win.
bad. Not bad.
Not so rare anymore, I guess.
Yeah.
For the folks at home who are listening on audio, Rick is unboxing an original 1999 Episode 1
Sith speeder.
Sith Speeder and Darth Maul figure. So it's
Sith
Maul
speeder.
on his
Yeah.
his rad bicycle.
Woo. All right.
So cool.
Out of the box. Oh, it comes with some stuff on the inside. Hasbro toy and game guide.
Oh man.
With a
Classic
whole
literature.
list.
It's a Star Wars
Yeah.
book. Put it on the shelf.
That's right. It is a Star Wars book. An assembly guide. Some assembly required, apparently.
Oh no.
Slightly press lever to open.
Oh great.
Press lever more to fire.
Is that what it
That's
says?
hilarious. Yeah.
Press lever more.
Oh, there it is. Hello.
Ooh, nicely packaged.
Just
secure.
comes right out. Where's that lever? Oh, there it is. Oh,
Yep.
I
It
don't know if
shoots
you can see that.
it shoots the drone or I think it's that droid? The
oh,
seeker
yeah,
droid?
Here it is.
Man, I remember
yeah.
this. That's weird.
You may want to go ahead and go full screen with your shot there,
Yeah, there
Alright.
you go.
so that we can see in more detail.
Yeah. Okay, so I'm gonna open up this droid. Don't let me fire this into the wrong place, because then I'll never find it again.
I want you to fire it straight at the camera.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Yeah, I don't care if you find it again.
Oh
I
wow.
don't care.
Let's see. A lot of tape.
I just want the shot.
I don't think this is going back in the box at this point. So
The box is getting massacred.
that I will say about '90s toys is they did not box them for putting them back in the box. So
Eco
there's-
and the green movement were not that strong yet. That's for sure.
Yeah, definitely not. My goodness, there's so much tape on all this, and I think even some twist ties.
Let's
thing
use
you've got a
some,
sharp knife there,
tape
Rick.
To
Yeah.
use some tape to set down the twist ties, and use the twist ties to hold down the screws, and then use the
The
screws.
good news, Rick, is if
There
you
you go.
lose a limb, it would be very Star Warsy of us.
That's
Yes.
right. I have cut myself many times with my knives, so it actually is bound to happen one of these days.
Yeah,
Also,
your knife skills you could use some work. I'm gonna be honest. You need some
Yeah.
Terrascasi training from Freddy.
Yeah, there you
you know,
go.
I used to sell Cutco, which is kitchen cutlery,
yeah.
which is a form of knife, and it was a terrible job. But I been around a lot of knives.
I've
They used to make
Obviously.
They used to make us do a joke where you ding a knife on the table and you'd be like, you know what note that is? Do you like music? They'd be like, oh, I don't know. I'd be like, that was B sharp because Cutco will always be sharp.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
That's a dad joke if I ever heard one.
Is that where it started? Ooh, look at that, Darth
That's
Maul.
cool, man. It's a good looking
Is
Maul.
that a? That's not a. That looks like cloth. Is that cloth?
It's
or is
cloth.
that a plastic? Yeah, there it is.
It's just
soft
very, very
parts.
basic cotton. But it's pretty cool.
Does it smell like 1999?
Actually, surprisingly, no. This cotton smells pretty fresh. So
There's also like a holder for the lightsaber, right?
Oh, I don't know.
They showed on the box that he could.
Yes. Maybe.
Yeah, you saw saber copters on Star Wars Rebels. Well, did you know back in 1999 in The Phantom Menace, you could have a saber cycle?
That's cool.
Ooh.
So I don't think he reaches the pedals, which is kind of hilarious. uh, yeah, the feet don't quite make the cut.
Foreshadowing for what would eventually happen to those legs.
Yeah. All right. So he's out of the box. He's ready to go. We're gonna launch the probe. Ready?
Probe us, Rick.
Oh, dear.
Ooh.
The probe has been launched. Well
Near
done,
miss,
buddy.
Near miss.
Cool, man. I'm glad we had a live unboxing.
Yeah.
It's very fun.
If
Very
we
fun.
want
All
to
right, well-
later, we can do another one, but we'll keep it moving.
Let's keep it moving. You got a great collection, Rick. I'm impressed.
Thank you.
Now I'm kind of wishing I had more of mine on display. I've got a few I'll show off. Freddie, let's do you first. What you got?
What do I have? I don't have
Some of
anything.
your favorite figures.
I right here.
Just
This
tell
guy
us.
right here. Boba Fett. I
mean
collect
Boba
Boba
Frick?
Fett items, including the original, which was very, very costly. But
Oh, you bought one of the mail away Boba Fett's?
I did a long time ago. I mean, we're talking maybe 2000, 2005, something like that, 2006, long time ago. Does not have the rocket, unfortunately, but I do have a replica. So I don't need it to be the original. I just need it to be, kind of like everything looks the same on the outside until you get in the car. But that was what
Whoa,
is
man. It looks like those run about $200.
one of my favorite characters. Yeah, it was quite costly back in the day. But my most favorite figures, I would say, are I had to get to the point where I was like, okay, I can't do these anymore. This is too much. There's too many Hasbros. I have no room for it. So I started kind of whittling it down and ended up going with the sideshow option, right? So maybe like 100 figures gets the sideshow, and I was good with that. And the Mythos collection for sure, I would say, is if you know the Mythos collection at Sideshow, probably the best collection at Sideshow. So
Yeah, man. Those are stellar. They had a great display of those at Celebration.
yeah,
You and I would just walk by it and we'd just stand there. And I'd be like, do you have that one? And you go, yeah, I have that one.
yeah.
I was like, dang, man.
So,
I would just like touch the box.
yeah, touch the box. One of the things is, Rancho Obi-Wan, I'm a collector, hung around a lot of the collectors. If you've read a book about any of the toys, likely it's Gus Lopez or Duncan, one of the two. Those guys are awesome. Check them out. See, I'm pretty sure they're on Amazon, so if you've got that Utini affiliate, what is it? The link? Use the link.
Utini affiliate. Yeah, it's hard to say.
Utini affiliate link. Come on,
There you
guys.
go.
Be pros.
Utility.
That's going on the mixtape.
The Utini affiliate yink.
See?
That sounds like a swear. Yink.
Yink. Yeah. Check them out. Just look for Gus Lopez or I think his name is Duncan Jenkins. Both of them stellar books. They go through the history of everything. Those, in my opinion, are some of my favorite collections because there's some that I'm just not going to be able to collect. And reading about it,
I'll have to
having
check
it,
those out.
noting, it's fantastic. And they're books, so gotta put them in the bookshelf.
Well, that's cool. I think you've highlighted a really good way to approach collecting. And like I said, I currently am focused on expand universe figures.
Yeah.
But I focus a lot more on the books. Like I mostly just collect books right now. I'm focused on Legends hardcovers. And so in terms of if you're thinking about collecting or you're looking around thinking, I might want to get more into collecting, and I've got a broad swath of Star Wars things or just getting into it, I would say focus a collection. So
Yeah.
Freddy focuses on Boba Fett. I focus on like 90s book figures, things that tie into the old expanded universe. So focus that collection. Rick's got a good swath of micro machines.
I got everything. I've got no
Yeah.
focus, and it's
Yeah,
bad.
don't be like
so
Rick.
Don't be like Rick. But thanks for trying to be polite.
I'm showcasing one model of collecting. You're showcasing another, right?
The out of control. Send help.
Man, this has been a lot of fun. Let's play a couple games. Before we do, what are your like your holy grails of Star Wars collecting. What's something that as a figure, a toy that you would love to acquire? What's one that for you, like, you haven't pulled the price tag on, but you would love to if you found it at a thrift store, sort of thing?
Man, if I ever find Jabba's sail barge at a thrift store for under $5,000, that is for sure going in my collection. It's not an old toy by any means, but it is pretty unique. If you've ever seen the HasLab Jabba sail barge, it is massive. I'll pull dimensions right now.
It'd be a great feature piece. Like you've got a mid-level shelf. It gets its own shelf. It better be screwed into the studs. You know what I'm saying? It is one of those kind of sets.
It's 50 inches long.
Wow.
50 inches. Well,
look at the size of that thing.
Some people think that's impressive, but, Anyway, all right. What is your Holy Grail figure, Rick?
Man, I don't know.
This has been in the notes since Monday, Rick.
I know, and I've been thinking. I'm in a place. Oh, my voice cracked. You hear that? I'm in a place right now where I'm trying to reduce what I have and not want a lot because
this is all hypothetical, man.
Dude, I don't do that. I go 100 miles an hour or nothing, and so right now I'm tapping the brakes. But I'll go back to one of my default answers from when we went book thrifting is I want to find something that I didn't know existed. And so I'm still going to shop, but I want to see something where I have to be like, what is this?
Rick, some of the best toys I ever bought, and believe it or not, with Jared, also had probably one of the best hot chicken sandwiches. But we found...
That was like the best day of my life, man. Forget my wedding day. That was the best day of my life.
I'm going to send that to Rebecca.
That comic book shop was the best place for us to find a lot of toys. So unusual, right? Going to a comic book store to find toys, but that's where I've found a lot of those rare pieces that they do cost a little bit, but hey, at least you sell a few of yours to get that one piece and you whittle it down in the process.
Oh, dude, that's
where I got my power of the Force Thrawn.
Beauty.
Yep, that's.
Oh yeah, look at this face. See if I can get a face shot. That does not at all look like the Pierce Brosnan Thrawn that we get in Rebels, does it?
No. Looks like the aliens from Galaxy Quest.
Yeah, there you go.
I don't think Jared knows what we're talking about, but Freddy gets me.
Yeah.
I
never give up,
all right.
never surrender. Okay.
Yes.
Is that Tim Allen?
Yeah, it's Tim Allen.
Yeah. See?
Okay.
I got it. I got the reference.
It's making fun of Star Trek, so you have to be one of those fans. Okay, yeah.
No, I love to make fun of Star Trek. I'm all on board.
Actually, Patrick Stewart said it's one of the best Star Trek movies ever made.
Wow.
I love Patrick Stewart because he's Professor X.
Yeah.
Not because of Star Trek.
And he's Captain/Admiral. Okay, fine. We won't go there.
One of my Holy Grail figures is...
Oh, yeah.
Go
ahead.
Did you finish, Freddy? What were you saying? You got it at the comic book store.
No, just saying, sometimes the rarest things you'll find are at the comic book store or some kind of specialty shop. Most folks know how much some of these cost. So, yeah.
Sure.
Gonna have to sell some stuff, Rick.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In terms of the toys, I want to finish out collecting the Dark Empire figures. So there's a Leia and an Emperor that I want to get. Those, to me, I want to have like a great Dark Empire collection. I'd like to get, those like leather-bound, signed by Cam Kennedy and Tom Veach, like those collector's edition books that they released a number of years ago. I like to get those. Some more single issues. I'd like to get the whole run single issues. I've got some. And then the figures. I've got the source book. I'd like to have like a really pristine Dark Empire collection. Any of the expanded universe figures, I'd like to get the Darth Crate, that Nihilus package, the one that had like the KOTOR figures from like 2010 or 11, whenever those were released. Those are definitely key for me. All right, before we're done, let's play a couple games. What do you say?
Ooh,
hey, I do have a bunch of audience submissions too. So is that on our
great.
list?
Yeah. Yeah, the pictures and images.
Yeah, and some videos too.
Let's do it. Let's do one game, and then we'll go back to theirs, and then we'll close out with one more if we have time. All right. So in terms of terminology, when we refer to this wide world of Star Wars figure collecting, which term do you prefer?
Mm-hmm.
Toys or action figures?
Okay, so my wife has called me out on this because I have tried to. Well, for one, I got to keep my kids away from my collection, and so
Sure, there's the daddy's toys.
terminology. Excuse me, terminology is important, and these are figures. We don't even say action figures; they're figures, and it's not play sets. They're dioramas, and so
These are display pieces.
That's right. They're pieces of our museum, maybe even. And so you treat them with respect. You don't throw them. You don't touch them. You just look, right? What is that?
I keep a bucket of the ones that I allow the kids to play with.
Yeah, I've got some duplicates, and like somehow, let me see if I can find them.
I've got a really nice Thrawn mini bust from Gentle Giant, and the number of times he's been decapitated by a rogue lightsaber, man, it makes Rook look like an amateur. Thrawn heads are rolling around here.
Nice. My mom or my son, whenever like they clean, like my mom when she comes to visit, she'll clean up my kid's room or whatever. You know, just do it what parents do to meddle with their stuff, and and she'll put some of my son's toys that are actual toys in my collection. And so the other day I saw Play-Doh Chewy.
Oh man, that's so good.
That was on my shelf, and I was like,
I'd love to have dumb stuff like that mixed in. Like I've got like a $900 collectible book.
Oh man!
And right next
Play-Doh
to it
Chewy.
is like I've got Mr. Potato Head Han Solo. So I love having that mix. Absolutely love it.
Nice.
Okay, so you're in the figures camp, Rick.
Yeah, that's me.
Yeah.
What about Freddy?
I'm Rick. Okay.
I think it's just like calling these guys back here dolls, right? Those are not dolls.
It looks like a doll to me. It looks much more like a Ken than it does to Luke Skywalker.
Yeah, and I think it Ken. Yeah, Ken Solo. There you go. I think
Ken
Obi-Wan Kenobi. Okay, sorry. That's just terrible.
That was good. They are figures because they are not toys. I don't play with them. I don't play with them because that's not what they're for. And in most cases, mine are still in boxes. I just like to keep my things in orderly fashion instead of just amongst the chaos. But
wait till you have children, Freddy.
Well, that's when I have the toys, right? And I've got a suitcase full of the toys I used to play with that are the original figures that I have. Some of the old stuff that basically everything we talked about, all the exclusives back in the 90s. I had every single one of those, thankfully.
Oh, cool.
Because I had parents who definitely grew up without something. They're like, we're going to give our kid everything. And it happened to be Star Wars.
Nice.
Yeah, one of these days, I want to get Freddy unboxing the suitcase.
Yeah.
Once you get the move done.
And here's one of them. This is a toy. This battery still works from 1990 whatever. So
that's so cool.
But
that is fantastic. It looks really good behind you, by the way.
Yeah.
That's a set piece in your backdrop.
I love how fluid it is. It just oh man. That's cool.
It
articulates very nicely.
It's got the stuff still. Yep.
Is General Veers inside?
You know what? He's in the cargo bay on the side over there. He's
this
in there,
episode Legends Look Back episode 120. Veers is here. Shout out to Veers Watch on Twitter.
There you go.
Absolutely. Okay, so you're in the action figures. I just call them toys. They're just toys, but but I'm a little defensive. Like if people think it's stupid or silly, I'll just say like we all have our hobbies, and mine is very wholesome. Thank you very much, Amelia. Okay, we've got another category here: collecting versus hoarding or accumulating. What do you like to call our little obsession?
Collecting.
I mean,
Rick?
I'd like to call it collecting, but since I don't really have a rhyme or reason, I did stay in like the lane of collecting Ahsoka paraphernalia.
That's a rough one. There's a ton.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I know.
yeah.
So like I've got Funkos. I got like all the Black Series. I think.
But it is
But,
Star Wars, right? Like you don't have
Yeah.
too much outside of Star Wars, or unless there's another podcast and another wall that you have.
He's
for
got
your,
Dalmatians purses and things.
That's
Dalmatian
Jessica. That's
stuff.
Jessica. Another great way to label it is this is an investment.
there it is.
So
I never resell my stuff though.
Yeah, I know. That's what my wife and I always talk about. Is I bought it at a great price. I could sell it for this much, and she's like, "But are
Then
you
do
though?"
it. Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, my wife, that's her line. It's always, then do it.
Yeah, same here. I bought 2 of these Boba Fetts. I still have both of them.
Yeah, I've got
one in the box, one out of the box.
Yeah,
So
there
I
you
have it
go.
both ways.
I will say I do have two Throns for that reason because
Okay.
one's out of the box and one's in the box. So I'm not a
Moving-
complete monster, but I'm definitely. I think I'm more of a hoarder or an accumulator than a collector, if I'm honest, because I have random stuff.
I call it collecting as well because I try to be focused about what I'm getting, but I don't have any rules about what other people can get me. Okay, all right. So we did toys versus figures, collecting versus hoarding. What about retro versus modern?
Oh man, there's something about, and this goes for anybody looking at anything during their time, right? Nostalgia. Looking at a Power of the Force card is like,
Speak to me, Freddy.
I just
Preach,
walk
brother.
straight towards it. Doesn't matter if I have it already. Doesn't matter if it's a beaten up toy. I see a Power of the Force. Doesn't matter where it's at either. Conventions. I see Power of the Force. It's a beeline right towards it. I need to see it,
Oh man,
and I need to probably buy it.
those booths at Celebration. It's like the
Oh,
dark underbelly of Celebration, where those sellers are trying to make a buck off their. Oh my goodness, that stuff is.
Yeah.
That whole
So-
area is the Wild West of Celebration.
Yeah, it is.
I think I'm also on the side of nostalgia. Let me show off something else. So Concept Grievous from 2007.
Oh, those are nice.
Pretty cool. Not
Oh.
not that old. I like this line that comes with the coins though, the collectible
Yeah.
coins, just that random thing. But talking about nostalgia, going back to this series with
Ooh.
the Comtech that had these little microchips, that had voices. Yeah, there you go. There's a Comtech. And
I'm sure I have my
had-
Comtech here.
I want to find a Comtech reader. And like that is a piece of like 90s nostalgia.
I have that.
Just
for
the
sure.
idea of you had to have sound effects and a microchip. Like how cool was that,
Yeah, I
That
do
was a
love
big
those.
thing for that time too. I mean, it was incredible to be able to just have that figure and for it to just talk, right? Like, oh my
Yeah,
goodness,
that's
I
cool.
don't have to talk for
I've
it.
never actually heard them talk. I've got the microchips, but I've never heard them talk. The amount
Yeah.
of times kids have like been playing with my bucket of figures and they've said, "What is this?" And I'm like, I honestly don't know. Leave me alone.
Leave me alone.
It's crazy. All right, so we're both in the retro camp. Wait, no, that was just Freddy. Rick, did you have a retro versus modern?
I think probably more retro. Unless it's a modern take on retro.
Oh yeah, there you
But
go.
I
That's part of
I don't love the New Kenner retro series. I think they're ugly, and I've got a few of them, and I do collect them. So I don't hate them.
I don't like them, but I do collect them.
All right, Rick.
Rick
Maybe
Grace.
you do have a
Just
problem.
As I said that out loud, I'm like, help.
Oh man,
That's
It's
funny.
next episode's gonna be called "Liquidating with Rick."
liquidating with Rick and Freddy and Jared.
No, not me. I'm not getting rid of my stuff.
How did, and
I
then
like my
no.
Funkos right where they are.
With special guests Andrew and CEO Corey Helton, and we'll have Utini Money, how to turn your Star Wars investment into a retirement plan.
There you go.
Yeah, he did go through all of that recently. We didn't even touch on Funkos. That's another great way to collect the figures. That'll have to be another episode. We'll get Eric and Emma on for that one, our big Funko friends. Okay, one more category here, canon versus legends. Just
Oh.
kidding. All right, let's get into the community submissions here. What are the good folks out there happy to show to us here live on Legends Look Back? We put out the call on Twitter, on Discord, in Slack. We said, show us your stuff. We're going to do a collecting episode. Hoarders are welcome here. Collectors are welcome here. And we got some fun stuff. Man, the community responded in droves.
Yeah.
And in fact, very few of them actually showed us toys.
All right. So
They were just happy to show their stuff. They were like, I got a dog. Does that count?
I love it.
Yeah.
The amount of people who messaged me this week, things that are not Star Wars toys. I was like, way to go, buddy. That's a Ninja Turtle. We'll allow it. Let's be honest.
90s.
All right. I don't know. There's not much organization on my end. So do you have a place to start, or just start throwing them up there?
They're labeled, so
Yeah.
you just like tell us whose collection we're looking at.
All right. Alphabetical. Let's start with Alex.
Ooh.
Oh,
Pause
man.
on
Look
that
at
one.
that.
All right.
Look at those
This-
lightsabers.
Yeah.
This is cool. He's got some Alex, a good buddy, a friend of the pod, friend of the show, Alex. He has an immaculate top shelf Thrawn shelf going on over here.
Yeah.
Look
And
at
that the one behind, it's like from Rebels that has the
Uh-huh.
what are they, chimeras, or are they
No,
are they
not
Nokri?
chimeras. I don't know.
They're the Salamari
The-
dueling.
Yeah. Bloom.
Anyway, that
Yeah.
particular box, I mean, that is
Yeah, it's nice.
very, very hard to
Mhm.
come by. I've
It's
tried
really
to buy
nice.
it a number of times on eBay bids, and it is one of the holy grail pieces for me. I've got a great Thrawn collection going on, and that's one that I can't get my hands on. All right, what else we got from Alex?
Let's see. Then we got.
Ooh.
Oh, look at all those figures.
I'm really
Nice.
liking
I
this.
love the way those
out-of-the-box
are
thing.
displayed.
Yeah. Using
That's
a
cool.
bookshelf, but it works.
Yeah.
I see
Yeah.
lots of Rebels. I see some classic figs. Maybe some prequels down at the bottom. I can't tell what that is.
You see, if this
Um,
was my collection with all the same characters, I'd have to have maybe 2 shelves for all the
Yeah.
boxes.
Oh yeah, for sure. And then one more with some Funko and
nice.
looks like a helmet.
Oh yeah, look, you've got
And-
the
Yeah, I like the way
Star
that's
Tours
placed.
at the bottom.
Oh yeah,
there.
the Star Tour ship. Yep.
Oh,
Yep.
cool. Yeah,
Nice.
nice. Thanks,
And
Alex.
then one more from Alex. Sorry. Looks like
I gotta be honest.
3.75, 3/4 inch.
Mhm.
I'm gonna have to get me some of those lightsabers that come in boxes because
Yeah,
that
those are
is
nice.
sleek. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it looks good. Looks
You can
good.
stuff a lot of the other toys in there, Jared, that you're not using, so you can double your space.
You think
Right.
so?
Oh yeah.
Mm.
I doubt it.
All right, next let's look at Eric's collection.
Oh gosh.
Kind of a big
Oh.
deal. Oh yes.
Look at
Eric just recently reorganized the collection. He just moved, and I'd say he's doing
Nice.
pretty well in the Funko department, don't you think?
Oh yeah.
He's got a few. But they're organized. They're on display. They're free of their boxes in their glorious form.
God, those are
Those
beautiful.
Those heads are just bobbing all over the place.
Yeah.
And
look at all those Ahsokas.
Yeah. I need to catch up. Man. Okay. Then
Oh my goodness, that's how you did it.
Oh,
so
Yeah,
nice.
he's got a great way to display his Lego
Oh,
ships. He's got like
those-
an Etsy seller he buys them from, and the way the Falcon is looking, kind of flat up against the wall,
Yeah.
that looks very, very slick.
It's
Yeah.
like hiding on the back of a M-Star Deuce, waiting for them to dump
yeah.
the trash.
Oh yeah, there you go.
That's right.
And then there's
I can
that.
dump my
is that
trash
a-
any day. You know what I'm saying?
Whoa! Looks like a Mandalorian gauntlet fighter up there at the top. That's pretty sick. Oh man,
Yeah.
okay.
It's beautiful stuff.
And then
Oh,
some
man.
lightsabers.
That's so cool.
And see,
That's
like,
a
I
Go ahead.
think that's why I collect knives, is because it's the closest thing to lightsabers that I can actually get. Like it's a
Imagine.
weapon.
Imagine.
And
Rick,
I
if
don't
you
know.
were a Jedi and lightsabers were a thing, you would have a collection of
Dude.
lightsabers.
dude, yes. I
Rick, do
probably
you make
would-
this sound when you take your lightsaber out of its blade, out of its casing?
I have a bigger knife that's like this one that's automatic, that it does like thwomp open like that, but it's like massive, like probably 6 inches blade. And I do sometimes make sounds.
Did you guys notice one of these? Let's play a little game here. One of these is a Legends saber. Which one is it?
Well,
whose is it?
Let's see here.
I mean, is the Dark
that-
Saber Legends?
Do we have?
Kind of, but that's not what I'm referring to.
Okay.
I can't remember what Revan.
The Legends Dark Saber is
a
that's a great
gun.
book.
Oh yeah,
that's a
different
great
book. Different
gun.
book. Yeah. Let's see.
I'll give you a hint. It's one of the two that's on that bottom shelf.
Oh.
Oh, okay. Is that Oh, whose is that? Is that Revan's?
Oh.
It's Revan's. Good job,
Yeah.
Freddy.
There it is.
I was.
That's
I was
right.
getting there, but yeah, nice.
The one with the prongs that
Yep,
come up over.
yep.
I've actually talked to Eric about buying that at least 4 or 5 times, and I've never pulled the trigger on him.
Nice. All right, let's move on to Jedi Murphy's collection.
Oh man,
Lots of cool figures. Ooh.
I love that. What are we calling that? Oh man, that's the down in the bottom.
The transport thing.
Yeah, that transport that was one
it
of
called?
the. It was one of the concepts, right? One of the McQuarrie concepts
Yeah.
that never made it into the movies, and they ended up bringing it back into Rebels and
Oh,
cool.
making it a reality. That's
And
really
I got
nice.
the Galaxy
Oh,
Mini,
yeah.
whatever they called it, Micro Galaxy
So nice.
miniature of it. Yeah,
Oh,
Yeah.
you do? Cool.
that's cool. Man, nice.
Some
Nice
retro
looking
figures on
figures.
display there.
See an X-wing on top. Let's see another page here. We got
Ooh,
whoa.
Look at all this
Yeah, lots of
color.
color.
Okay,
what
now
is-
there's an entire. If you zoom in, it's got an entire X-Men shelf.
This is
Uh-huh.
amazing.
I spent a good amount of time studying this. So many cool.
I see
X-Men.
some Spidey. It looks like up there.
There's a whole Spider-Man villains shelf. That's right. That's
Oh.
right. And then a whole Spider-Man shelf. All the
Is
different
that-
spiders. Spider-Man.
Is that Storm like floating?
There's Captain Picard
Yeah,
right
it's-
there in a chair.
Oh, come on, Freddy. I don't even know how that storm is dangling there like it is. Probably just with weather powers.
I like
Dangling.
the
What a
let's see.
word.
A couple of the ones that I had were Cyclops, which I think I see in here. The one that I had.
Hmm.
Oh man.
What?
Oh, Alien. Okay, we got some
Yeah.
Alien. Whose is this?
This is Jedi Murphy still.
Oh, nice. Do we have a
Ninja
Praetorian?
Turtles. That's very very Legends Look Back appropriate.
Yeah,
that.
that's right. Let's see what else we got.
Oh, Dragon Ball Z.
Dragon Ball Z, yes,
Around
sir.
over 9,000
Yeah.
figures there.
That's like our followers. It's over 9,000.
Caddyshack.
And
This
then,
collection episode just went Super Saiyan. You know what I'm
Oh,
saying?
Transformers. Hey, there it is.
Guys.
Nice. Yeah,
That was awesome.
dude, sick collection.
I need to pull out my Beast Wars.
Next up,
bin.
Oh, yeah.
We got-
Oh, my goodness.
ooh, some art. This
Oh,
is from Maggie.
Maggie.
Yeah, Maggie's got a great artwork collection.
Oh,
Which I threw this
Maggie.
in just for you, Freddie. It almost didn't make the
Dude.
show because it's not really like toys, but
Maggie, this is so cool. Oh, my goodness. That shot at the very top there.
Yeah.
With the clones shooting, the lasers shooting everywhere. You've got.
All right,
Oh, my goodness.
it's a great piece.
This is
I
fantastic.
love
I'm
the
gonna have
Maul
to-
and Ahsoka.
Yeah.
get some Star Wars art. I need to talk to Maggie. I need to know who your art guy is because I need an art guy.
Malcolm
they've got-
Tween. Malcolm Tween. He
Malcolm
does.
Tween.
Maggie's
my-
got Rex. I'll say that much.
Malcolm Tween he does a lot of like landscape
Oh.
and vehicles.
Yeah.
Vehicles in the landscape.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Some Rebels love.
Oh yeah, look at that. Hera,
Man,
Freddie Prinze
Mhm.
Jr.
Kanan.
Yeah, it's too much canon for me. Move along.
All right.
It looks great. Looks great. Thank
got
you,
some
Maggie.
micro machines.
No, these are some
This is not Maggie.
Transformers.
Transformers.
Yeah. It was labeled micro machines, and now that I see it, it's like that's Transformers.
These might be.
Then Don't Be Alarmed. Ah!
Oh, this is from our buddy Rob Neese, friend of the show.
Love it.
All right, there's a story behind this. He said this
Oh,
was
dear.
my 1983 Palpatine figure. There's more to the story. I'm trying to find it. I don't know what's going on at the bottom of this shot, but he's kind of got like a rainbow
He does.
lens flare going on, which
He
is
does.
fantastic.
So this is
Yeah.
a 1983 Palpatine. Is that what that is? Got some scuff
Yeah,
marks
that's
on
what-
it. Looks fairly well played with.
Mm.
Definitely
Oh,
3
yeah,
and
for
3/4.
sure.
3 and 3/4. He's got definitely some missing paint on his face and his fingers. A loved toy, or maybe hated. I don't know.
This attack on my life has left me scarred and deformed. Something like that, right? Yeah.
That's right. All right, here's the story. He says, my dad saved up cereal box proof of purchases to mail away for, if I'm
Oh,
recalling my
dude.
family lore correctly. So shout out to Rob's dad.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's a well-loved toy.
And
And then
right
he
there.
said, And then I love this follow-up comment. Alas, in those times, no amount of proof of purchases was deemed sufficient for the ultra-rare, slimy, naked palps variant.
Oh, yes. Yeah, that's one of those you had to be there to get that one. You
Yeah.
couldn't just proof of purchase. All right, next up we got Rocky.
Oh man.
Some books. I see some looks like Lego figs, maybe on the bottom shelves.
Mhm. That's
Nice set of books. Some looks like some canon and legends in there.
Oh yeah, look at
and
that.
then
That's beautiful. Look at
More. Oh yeah. Ooh.
that. Those are some beautiful books. Look at that top right-hand corner up there, Jared.
Oh, that's fantastic. I just got a message from Skooma Joe with the picture of what the... He DM'd
Jared's
me
losing
the
it.
photo. He DM'd me the photo of what the Dark Empire Palpatine figure looks like derobed. Like what is under... And it's kind of BDSM, I'm going to be honest. It's a little bit like... What? So
Oh, dear.
hang on the Discord and we'll send you.
I gotta
send
see
you a
this,
link.
but maybe not in the show. Maybe not in the show.
I think
All
it's too
right.
much for TV. Okay. Yeah, this is a beautiful collection from our friend of the show, Rocky.
Oh, I love those
Very
shelves.
beautifully
Yeah.
organized collection, and there's actually a little bit of rhyme and reason to how he's got it organized. So, like he's got a whole Sith shelf, second from the top there.
Mm-hmm.
You'll notice you've got Bane, Maul, and Vader on the same shelf, which is cool.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I'm going to
Keep it
rewind
going.
real quick to
All
back
right,
to
let's
Skooma
see.
Joe. Jared, you manifested this life where you have friends sending you pictures of derobed Palpatine.
This happened on accident, Freddy. This was unintentional. I did not manifest it. It happened to me. That's not how the Force works.
But the question is, did he like it or was it unwanted?
Did you save it?
I would say we have built.
Would
we
you
have
swipe
built
right?
A
I'm kidding.
wonderful,
It's
a
super late.
wonderful community around this show, and we support each other, and we are
And he froze.
there looking out
Convenient.
for each other's
There he goes.
Yeah.
wants and needs. This was a need, but I don't want it. What else we have from the community? Was that it?
Oh. All right. No, we got more. But wait, there's more. Let's see. Where was we? Where were we? We were looking next at Thrawny. Got quite a bit. Look at that.
Oh, check that out.
These are cool
Signed.
because this is a signed figure from.
Yeah.
David
Prowse.
Prowse.
looks
David
like.
Prowse.
Mm-hmm.
May he rest in peace.
Yeah. Then Michael Stackpole, I Jedi
Wow.
autograph.
Somebody send a
uh,
picture of that to Corey Elton.
Yeah. There's the front cover. Then
Never gets
check
old.
this out.
Oh.
That's Thrawn, business up front, party in the back.
We're calling
Signed by
this,
Timothy Zahn. Yeah.
Gal-
Yeah.
Oh, man, that's awesome. Timothy Zahn. Yeah, that's awesome.
Love it.
What are we
That is
calling this
cool.
one,
Great.
this variant, Rick? We're calling this the Galaxy Quest variant?
The Galaxy Quest variant, yes. All right.
Fantastic.
Then some stuff from Tyler.
Oh, my goodness.
Yeah, the
Yoda
lamp.
lamp.
I remember the lamp.
It's a bronze
pretty sweet.
I
casted
love
lamp.
Yeah. Let's
Okay.
see.
And a
His
Christmas tree.
Christmas tree. Nice.
Because it's
Look at that.
February and he hasn't
Hey.
put it
Yeah.
away yet.
Why? Why would you? Okay, that's mine. So, okay, I'll show that out since we're there. But some figures by their books.
Those are some
It's a nice
beautiful
little-
covers.
Nice
It's a
great
little
shot.
Yeah.
setting. But let
Those
me
are
see if we
rare,
got
man.
anything else. I think.
You got a video, right? From
A couple
Nathan?
videos. Yep.
All right.
Let me.
These are cool.
Let me get that ready.
Awesome. Yeah. Thank you to the community. If you submitted a picture for us, really appreciate you joining on the fun. It's been a fun episode to make. I really had a blast. We've missed Emily for sure, but we've really gotten some nerdiness out of our system, I feel like.
That's for sure.
No, dude, you just I'm getting ramped up, ready to go. All right, here's some videos. You ready?
Let's do
Let's
it.
do it. It's a great video
That was
from
amazing.
Nathan. Thank you. They really went all
Yeah.
out on that. Did you notice that there was even like some lo-fi playing in the background?
Music,
Yeah,
yeah, I was jamming. I
That's-
mean, he's going to repurpose it, TikTok or something, but it was excellent. Like, it was totally worth making a video for. And what a great collection.
Yeah, beautiful collection.
right, that's
Some
right.
of that old
Yeah, they've got a great
vintage stuff.
collection. So,
All right, got another one
there,
here.
There were a couple figures in there that like fit that category, Rick, of the things that I didn't know existed. Like the Anakin, no, the Yoda Magic 8-ball.
Oh yeah.
Yes. Oh, yeah. I have one from the Phantom Menace era that was you shake him and like he's on his
on the
chamber
chair,
seat, you know?
right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had like
Oh.
answers.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
I had
Taco
one
Bell.
of those back in the
Taco
day.
Bell,
Yeah, I had one of those. It's gone now.
Mine's it's around somewhere, but he doesn't have answers. Like he ran out of like blue juice or something.
He ran out of answers. He got
Blue
tired of the
juice.
younglings.
Yeah. All right, one more
Next
video. Nice.
Forgot about that.
That's cool.
My daughter got one of those, and she played with it so hard the battery died, and we've not replaced the battery. But she got a lot of fun out of it. They're not intuitive how to like press the buttons to control it. It's fairly
a mystery.
complicated, but she got really good at it. She was
I
always.
think I
playing
had
with
another
it, so
one. That might have been the wrong video to play,
gonna
but it
say.
actually was fitting.
It worked. It worked. What you
I
got,
did that
Rick?
a long
Yeah.
time ago.
Let me see if I can. I had one that I had to convert because it was in the wrong format. Let me see if I can.
All right.
Yeah.
We're not going to have time for the game in terms of like going through the most valuable Star Wars toys ever, but that might be a fun game to play on another episode. Let us know if you've got a super rare figure like the Stormtrooper Luke, which I used to have and somehow have lost, which is very sad because it's like a $175 figure. If you've got a blue Snaggletooth, the vinyl Cape Jawa, a medical droid, or a yak face, a Weequay, any of those super rare figures, we would love to see it. Throw it in the Legends Look Back Discord channel.
What was your first Star Wars toy?
Yeah, that's a great one. We'd love to see that
That's a
on
good
Twitter
question.
or over in the Discord. So, closing us
Can
out
I-
tonight.
Can I show one more thing?
Sure, of course. Yeah, close us out.
Okay. Sorry, I'm trying to see. We did have another video to show, but let me see if I can get to work real quick. And while we're doing that, one of these days, we're gonna talk about Armada.
Oh,
Because these are my Armada figures, and this is like you'd never play with this many, but they're toys, so they count, right?
Wow, that is fantastic.
And yeah, it's fun.
That's awesome.
That is quite the
Lotta-
collection, man.
A lot of chips from the movies and some from Rebels. Quite a lot from Rebels, actually. Like there's the ghost right
Oh
there.
yeah, check that out. Millennium Falcon.
But Phoenix Home. Anyway, so I
Wow,
have
you
other
got like
pictures.
100 chips.
Probably. Then that Superstar Destroyer is massive. Like it's like 3 feet long.
Oh my goodness. Yeah.
So it's hard kind of to see scale, but there's a lot there.
Should have put a
All right,
banana
here
in
is one more video. Let's see if this will work.
there. Oh man.
Oh, Freddy, this
Which one
was,
is this?
This is when you and I were at Celebration. It's just a shot of, it's just a shot of. I thought it was a picture. I didn't know it was a video.
Oh,
It's a shot of the shadows of the Empire Micro Machines that I took
Oh,
at
nice.
Celebration, and I took it as like B-roll.
Okay.
But I'm glad we got to show it off.
That's what that was. All right, cool.
Reminds me
well,
of-
Love it.
That's
Good
all I
times.
got.
It was
This
worth
has
it.
been a lot of fun, and I'm gonna play with my toys when this episode is
Yeah.
over. I'm gonna have Boosh have a little duel here against Power of the Force Obi-Wan.
Don't forget
Or,
Jar Jar and Carbonite.
Nice.
That's right. Jar Jar is gonna go in Carbonite,
Jarbonite.
aka
Right.
action figure detention, when this episode is over. So remember, coming up soon, we're gonna have our next roundtable, which is Dawn of the Jedi Into the Void. We're going to do as our next novel roundtable. We're going to do the Dawn of the Jedi comics as well coming up soon. We'll chat about exactly when that's going to be because I got something that's come up next week. So we may not have a live show, but regardless, whenever we're back, it's going to be legendary. Thanks for joining us this week for Legends Look Back. Thanks to our incredible patrons for your support. We love making the show, and we're glad that you are along for the ride. A special thank you to our Jedi High Council, Brian Dooley, Earl Q, and Carl Stander, as well as the Alliance High Command, Chris Carrizo, Ashley Ingalls, Elizabeth Cloutier, and Sally and Chris Eilerson. Remember to sub to the channel and leave us a review in your podcast platform of choice. Please, it helps us out. Goes a long way. If you'd like your thoughts read on the show, our contact information can be found down in the description below, and also we're on Twitter at Legends Look Back. Remember to keep the Utini fan code and to be a force for positivity in the fandom. May the force be with you.
This is a Utini broadcast.